We're back again with another stimulus check update for you guys. And make sure you watch this video all the way through to the end, because I have a special bonus for you if you stay to the end of the video too also as well. So today we're going to be talking about second stimulus check on the way. Good news on the deal for your second stimulus check update and stimulus news for August 6th of 2020. So basically, we're going to be talking about some rental assistance also as well, and those $500 stimulus checks for dependents also. And we're also going to talk about what's going on right now, because I know you guys have questions about when am I going to get my next stimulus check. So let's get started. Let's get into it. If you haven't already, please subscribe using the subscribe button below, and give this video a like, a thumbs up, so that way YouTube can promote our video and promote our channel too also as well. And we can get this video for more people to watch at the same time. So first up on the list, we have the state of Indiana. And this is reported in the Indy Star, where the state's rental assistance program is getting a $15 million boost. Yes, that's right, $15 million. That's a whole lot of bread right there. Now, Governor Eric Holcomb announced the funding for the Indiana rental assistance program during a press conference Wednesday. The state's moratorium on evictions and residential real estate foreclosures is going to end on the 14th. The administration, they initially set aside $25 million in federal CARES Act funding for the program. So we know if you live in Indiana, good news, there is more funding for rental assistance right now. So make sure you go ahead and go get that money, okay? Now, next up, we have Hudson County, where they plan to distribute about $12 million in rental assistance to residents throughout the county, using funding it received from the federal relief package, or the CARES Act. Now, officials hope to begin accepting rental assistance applications by the end of the month, but they're first conducting a survey so they can understand varying situations renters are experiencing across the county too at the same time. And we also have Illinois. Right now, Illinois will launch a new rental assistance program that could help approximately 30,000 tenants. That's a whole lot of people. Tenants that are struggling to keep a roof over their heads. And the IHDA, the Illinois Housing Development Authority, they're opening up the applications online on Monday for $5,000 grants. So that's a whole lot of bread right there. You can get $5,000 to catch up on payments since March, or cover payments through December. Applications will be accepted between August 10th and August 21st. Okay. But the executive director of the state agency encourages people to apply next week. Also, we have Paterson, New Jersey, which they are expecting thousands of people to sign up next week when the Paterson Housing Authority reopens its waiting list for rental assistance vouchers for low-income families. The agency says it initially will have about 200 vouchers to distribute. So that they're going to give out vouchers basically. Okay. Recipients will be chosen through an electronic lottery system. About 16,000 people responded when the Housing Authority previously set up a voucher waiting list more than 5 years ago. So this is pretty much breaking news. It was hot off the press on northnewjersey.com as of yesterday. So where do things stand right now with your stimulus checks? Well, basically, for the people that have not received their $500 stimulus check for their dependents, good news about that also as well. The IRS is sending out the $500 checks for the dependent as of this week. You should receive it on a debit card, or if not on a debit card, a direct deposit or a paper check. Okay, so you want to make sure that the IRS has your direct deposit information and that's all filled out, so there won't be any problems there. Otherwise, you'll be receiving a check in the mail. All right. If you have any questions about that, definitely drop me a comment. Or if you have any questions about the rental assistance in your state, if you're looking for rental assistance, just leave me a comment with your questions. Mention what state, and I'll do the research for you and get that information to you as soon as I can. Now, as far as what's going on right now with the state of the negotiations on the stimulus checks, I have a lot of news for you on that one. Now, the Republicans have come up on their price tag of $1 trillion. So basically, right now, the negotiations from the Republican side are on a bill that costs more than $1 trillion. That we know. But we also know that the Democrats have not moved at all on their price tag of $3.4 trillion. Okay, they have not come down on that price tag at all. So right now, they're not meeting in the middle on a price tag at all. Okay, but Trump and Mitch McConnell had a huddle today at the White House. And Meadows, well, the reporters had asked Mitch McConnell, what is it that you and Trump had spoke about, in the huddle, because they had a huddle at the White House. And Mitch McConnell was not specific about the conversation. He said, a little bit of this and a little bit of that, pretty much. Okay, so we really don't know what Trump and Mitch McConnell talked about in the meeting. I mean, who knows what it could be, right? It could be anything, okay? So Meadows says there are trillions of dollars apart. This is Mark Meadows, the White House Chief of Staff. As you know, he's a part of the negotiations between four people: him, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Steve Mnuchin, who's the Treasury Secretary of State, representing Donald Trump in the White House too, also as well. And I believe Mark Meadows is the Chief of Staff for the White House, but they're pretty much representing the Republicans and the White House. Okay. Now, Pelosi had rejected a short-term deal. She doesn't want a short-term deal. Chuck Schumer doesn't want a short-term deal at all, because, like Schumer said previously, I believe it was on Saturday after Saturday morning meeting, that if you're going to feed, if you have 1 million hungry Americans, you can't just feed half of the 1 million people. You have to feed all of the 1 million people. So she doesn't want a piecemeal, half-ass bill. Okay, she wants a full bill to address all the needs of the American people. Now, Meadows says if we don't reach a top-line number, meaning a price tag, there is no incentive to continue conversations. Now, out of all of the four negotiators that I have noticed, the way they have responded to reporters, the way they have commented on the negotiations. I mean, mind you, Meadows did on Saturday, talk about progress. They made a lot of progress, and so did the other three negotiators. But Meadows seems to be the most negative person in these talks right now. Okay. There's word of Meadows even walking out, if he doesn't get his way, or if there's, if they don't get a deal by Friday, there's talks of him walking out. Okay. And stopping negotiations. Now, Pelosi is sticking to the $600 unemployment boost, and she's not budging from that, okay, right now. If a deal is reached after the debate recess for the Senate on tomorrow, August 7th, then the senators will be called back for a vote. That's if a deal is reached. So if they come to an agreement tomorrow and they say, okay, we agree on a $600 unemployment, we agree on eviction moratoriums, et cetera, whatever it is they agree on, by tomorrow, the Senate will be called back to make a vote. So basically what they would have to do is put that in the form of a bill if that agreement is reached by tomorrow. Okay. And Pelosi says that Trump can extend the eviction moratorium, but he needs money to go with it. And he cannot move that much money around, okay, which is a lot of money. So that was Nancy Pelosi's response to reporters asking her what does she think about Trump continuing to state publicly that he will issue an executive order if Congress can't get it together and pass a bill and come to a deal. Okay. The Democrats want money for the post office and mail-in ballots for the election. Now, we already know how Trump feels about these mail-in ballots. He feels it threatens his second term in office, basically, because he states that if we allow mail-in ballots, then there will never be a Republican president again, according to him. And he keeps on bringing up, his views of voter fraud. And he thinks that there is voter fraud and mail-in ballots encourage voter fraud, where a lot of news media outlets have reported that there is no specific evidence of this. Okay. And Democrats, now Trump was against mail-in ballots, right? Basically for fear of losing the election. Okay, that's what it is. Now, after departing the Oval Office for Ohio today, Trump, this is a tweet from Trump that I'm reading off here. Upon departing the Oval Office for Ohio today, I've notified my staff to continue working on an executive order with respect to payroll tax cut, eviction protections, unemployment extensions, and student loan repayment options. Trump tweeted, Mark Meadows seems to be the most negative one in the negotiations. I know. These are just my notes here that I'm, pretty much talking about here, because I've been doing a lot of research today about what's been going on. Now, Mitch McConnell and Lindsey Graham are in races for the elections. They are in tight races, according to most of the news media outlets. So meaning that it's a 50-50 chance that Mitch McConnell can lose the election, and then we could have a Democrat leader of the Senate, and Lindsey Graham could lose his election and be replaced by a Democrat also in the Senate. Okay, which means it's a possibility the Democrats can be taking over the House in November. Now, Mnuchin says this is also good news here about a deal for us. All right. Mnuchin, who's the Secretary Treasury of State, he says that a deal is expected tomorrow. Okay. So they're expecting a deal tomorrow. So we're just going to keep our fingers crossed. Okay. This is good news that they're all saying, not only Steve Mnuchin, they're all saying that they're expecting a deal by tomorrow. That is the goal right now that they're heading towards. Now, I honestly don't believe that they will set a goal that's unrealistic. You know what I mean? So I believe there's something more to these negotiations that they're not telling us. Okay. Because there's a lot of pessimism going around between senators and Republicans, including Democrats too, also. And a lot of pessimism too from social media, about these negotiations. Now, Trump is talking about extending the suspension of student loan payments. And he announced that today. that he would include that in his executive orders. Okay. Pelosi is pushing for the heroes, the essential workers, to be taken care of in the bill or the agreement or the deal by providing money, more money to the states. Okay, now she said in a press conference today that the Republicans see this as a bailout for the states, but she doesn't see this as a bailout for the states because this would prevent many essential workers from becoming laid off, or more essential workers from becoming laid off. And this would help policemen, firemen, hospital workers, healthcare workers, many people, EMTs, many people who might work for the state. Okay. In the press conference today, Pelosi also said that the skinny bill that the Republicans proposed is anorexic. That's a good way of putting it. It's anorexic. And that if money for the states is not given, then there will be massive layoffs of frontline workers, which is true. A lot of the states just are running out of money right now, and they pretty much would not have any choice but to start laying some of these workers off. Now, I'm going to go over some of the comments from some of the senators. We have the Richard Shelby from the Senate Appropriations Committee, chairman, said today, we might not get a deal. There are a lot of pessimism here. Are we too far apart? Senator Lisa Murkowski told reporters it doesn't look like there'll be a deal this week. And they asked Senator Mike Rounds if he was optimistic about it. He said, nope. Senator Dick Durbin from Illinois, the number 2 Senate Democrat, said it certainly does look like negotiators aren't pessimistic about their Friday deadline. I hope they call us back tomorrow. Call me back tomorrow, said Durbin. So basically, he's referring to the Senate being called back, because what may happen is that if they make a deal tomorrow and they put together a bill based on that deal, then the senators will be called back for a vote. Okay. But as for right now, the way it stands, Mitch McConnell, leader of the Senate, is sending the senators home. Okay. And they're pretty much, a lot of them are going to start their recess already, even though the recess technically doesn't start till tomorrow. Okay. But they will be given a 24-hour heads up if there's a deal arrived at tomorrow, and they will be called back for the vote. Now, in the week ending August 1st, 1.2 million new people applied for unemployment benefits. So that's down from 1.4 million people from last week. And Meadows said last night that they are trillions of dollars apart on a deal. McConnell said what we've seen is plenty of talk, plenty of stalling from the Democratic leaders who have insisted on handling this themselves. No significant movement toward progress. Senator Marco Rubio said, I can't tell you how disappointed I am that more progress hasn't been made. Frankly, I thought given everything that was going on, eventually that fever would break. Senator Rob Portman from Ohio, Republican, he added, I think we're all a little frustrated right now because the negotiations on the next package seem to be at a standstill. Okay, but the Democrats believe that the Republicans waited too far to put together their own package and start negotiations. So, I mean, there's a lot of negativity coming from the Republicans about the next stimulus package. I mean, almost half of the Republicans in the Senate will not vote or even vote on a stimulus package. So right now, if there is a deal put together by tomorrow, then it's going to be not up to the Republicans to get this passed. It's going to be up to the Democrats to get this passed, because if it's the Democrats that will vote in favor of the $600 unemployment boost. Okay, so I believe Mitch McConnell would not have any problem at all if a deal is put together by tomorrow to get the majority of the Democrats to vote in favor of this extra $600 a week boost. Okay, and if the money for the states are in there by tomorrow in the deal, then he should have no problem getting a majority of Democrats to vote for that too, including a $1,200 stimulus check. There's no doubt they will vote for it. Okay, so that's pretty much all I have for you. So remember to give this video a like, a thumbs up, so that way YouTube can promote our videos and more people can see the video. And subscribe below if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe and the notification with the bell. That way you can get alerted every time I make these stimulus check update videos, and join our Facebook group. The link is in the description and it's free to join, so you can get more stimulus check updates. And while you're there, see other links for free money and other helpful resources as well. So from all of us here at the How to Get an 800 Credit Score Family LLC, stay safe, be blessed. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now. My name is Lyndon Baptiste, and on this channel we talk about ways to increase your credit score, build credit, and get approved for the lowest payments on mortgages and lines of credit, travel the world for free, earn extra money with cash back. And if that interests you, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications. That way you'll never miss a single video as we make them.